in talking about the sensor simulator, this is a great tool for testing harnesses and sending live known good data in place of a sensor that you suspect of being bad. You go up in the top left corner to your toolbox to bring you to this menu. We'll click on Sensor Simulator, and we have several menu options to choose here. We can send a simple DC voltage. By clicking on current voltage, we can change it to our desired voltage we want the sensor to send back to the module in the car. If we click on fixed frequency, we can adjust the low voltage, we can adjust the high voltage, we can set the frequency, the space percentage, and then in pushing the play button at the bottom, it'll send that signal down the wires to the module for the sensor you have unplugged. For predefined waveforms, we select the graph at the bottom, and there are a number of known good waveforms loaded in here for each sensor type. All of these will set a predeformed, like in the case of the EGR valve, full close to full open back to full close signal out to the module if we simply use that waveform. Hand-painted waveforms allow us to adjust the waveform however we want simply by swiping our finger across the lines. We can adjust the voltage of the hand-painted, both top and bottom, and we can adjust the cycles per second. At the bottom, you have the ability to save, go to Files, erase your adjustments, or again, pick from a known good waveform to adjust before moving forward. And with every adjustment, you can go back. Once you've changed the parameters, you can then push the play button and it'll send that waveform to the car's computer, and then you can see it through the DLC and through the scanner. This is great for schools that are trying to show how sensors operate through the modules. Let's go to DC voltage. We've unplugged a sensor that has a 5-volt reference. If we hit our main square next to the home symbol at the bottom of the scanner, because it's an Android scanner, we can surf through all the windows we have open. We'll go back to the scanner, and we have loaded in a car where we have an intake temperature sensor unplugged. And right now it's reading 0 voltage. We hit the square again and go back to the sensor simulator. We have plugged into the harness that plugs into that sensor, and I'm going to send 2.5 volts down that line by pushing play. It is now sending that voltage through the harness to the module, and I can go back to the scanner and now see that voltage on the air intake temperature. If I graph the voltage, we can see that change. And here I can come back, go to hand painted, make my adjustments, push play now, go back to my scanner, and you can see the frequency has changed. It's happening too often to see what I've put in there as a variant, but you can see how the sensor simulator will send signals back to the module to test for sensors, harnesses, or if you're simply instructing students on how the system works in the first place. These are some of the great advantages the sensor simulator has. And that's one of the many tools that you have in your toolbox with the Maximus 3.